A new report from a conservative group seeks to add dollar values to the massive amount of regulation coming out of the Obama administration. Correspondent Kevin Corke is traveling with the president. He looks at the numbers and what they mean for Martha's Vineyard.
It's a familiar sight to most Americans. President Obama signing some major legislation into law. But what you don't often see are the hundreds of regulations his administration puts into effect each and every year. Critics call it a regulation tsunami. According to the Conservative American Action Forum, since the president took office back in 2009, the federal government has issued hundreds of major regulations impacting the economy to the tune of $743 billion. And while President George W. Bush issued 426 major rules during his time at the White House, the AAF says Mr. Obama's tally will reach 641 major regulations before he leaves office, boosting the nation's regulatory bill to more than $800 billion.
600 regulations is an abstract, but when you think about it, there are only so many places regulatory costs can go. They often operate like taxes.
Batkin says the effects of those stealth taxes are widespread, coming in the form of higher medical costs because of regulations associated with Obamacare, for example, higher energy rates thanks to the EPA's Clean Power Plan. Excessive regulations can also restrict access to consumer credit under Dodd-Frank rules. Even food prices are on the rise because of a bevy of new federal production rules. Critics argue the president has used his regulatory authority, in effect, to end-run a hostile Congress, like the sweeping rule that extended overtime pay to more than 4 million people without any input from lawmakers on Capitol Hill.
I think if you're a conservative and you see figures 30% higher than President Bush, then you do think it's regulatory overreach.
As you might imagine, we've got a bit of pushback from the administration tonight, hearing from officials at the Office of Management and Budget. And Doug, I just want to share part of what they're saying to us tonight. They're saying, at least in part, the administration's regulatory strategy is aimed at protecting the safety and health of all Americans while fostering economic growth, job creation, and competitiveness. And they go on to cite a number of different metrics, including sustained job growth, relatively low unemployment, as proof, frankly, that their strategy, at least for now, is working. Doug?
Kevin Corke traveling with the president on Martha's Vineyard tonight.